Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. We are from Group B. We would like to presentation about English for specific purpose, that is describing concept and areas of ESP, demands in teaching ESP and the last effectiveness of ESP. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce our members in Group B. The first is me. My name is Febrian Nirmala as moderator, Jaida, Fani Wahyuni, Sylvie Henriani, Siti Rahma Angelina, and the last one, Cynthia Dwitami. In order to not wasting time, let's just start our presentation today. To the speaker one, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shaida and now I will present about definition of ESP. Okay, according Hutchinson and Weather 1994, definition of ESP is an approach to learn English where the teaching stuff and the teaching methods are based on the reason why the learner wants to learn English. Robinson 1991 described ESP as involving education, training, and practice and make use of the three main realisms of knowledge, namely language, pedagogy, and the student or participant's special areas of interest. Okay, it can be concluded that the most important meaning of ESP is that all decisions are made in designing language teaching program and are based on the need of students to learn English. Relate to this the word specific in the ESP has different interpretation as the regions develop. In the 1960s, specific meant a list of the technical vocabulary of a particular field or profession. In the 1980s, until now, it refers to the need and interest of students. Based on definition given, ESP can be understood as a way of preparing students to use English in academic, professional, and workplace environment. And language skill will be stated. In ESP, English is learned not for itself or for general education, but for something the way to get into linguistic efficiency in certain environment. Okay, enough for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I'm Fanny Wahyuni. This occasion, I'm going to be explaining about areas of ESP, English of specific purposes. Branch English for academic purposes, so branch English for general academic purposes and English for specific academic purposes. So we come to what does mean English for academic purposes. English for academic purposes is course provide language instruction for academic study in American universities. Language skills addresses include listening comprehension, fluency development, oral intelligibility, reading, grammar, writing, and vocabulary development. Academic study skills addresses include test taking and note taking skills, academic vocabulary usage, critical, reading and writing, comprehending academic lecturers, research and library skills, formal composition, form and developments, including research papers. And we come to A, erasing and changing and relevance. The reading of the English general academic purposes course then consisted of authentic materials taken from different sources, both printed and online. The selections of topic was based on the students' own preference and teacher suggestions. The authentic reading text served as the basic materials for the active communicative tasks. The tasks themselves integrated listening, speaking, reading, and writing skill as far as possible. For example, by using oral activities such as pair or small group, then the distinctive feature of the ECAP course book was study skill section presented in each unit. These sections introduce study skills needed in academic classes. The students would learn how to summarize a reading text, create a writing outline, and other. It was hoped that after joining the ECAP course, they could perform the study skills in English of their classes successfully. Point B. English for academic purposes. Precision-intensive English course for several years. A tutor in English to overseas students have organized a precision-intensive English course in the Department of Education and University of Manchester. The students who speak English as first language apply to attend the course because their ability in English is insufficient to pursue studies through the medium of English. And then the language need of the students. Clearly, the students need to develop their language proficiency sufficiently to enable them to undertake studies at a university level and to be able to function adequately in the language. Listening comprehension and note-taking. The unit General the listening comprehension and note-taking units have been prepared according to a formal original designs by Kenneth James, one of the tutors in English to overseas students in the Department of Education. The units follow essentially the same designs. Each comprises three separate but interlocking stages on which various language exercises are based. The subject matter of the units is concerned with aspects of study skills and the problems that students are likely to encounter when studying through the medium of English. Titles include some of the problems of overseas postgraduate students, listening and understanding, problems of writing in a first language, seminar and tutorial, and some psychological considerations in the learning of foreign language, and the advantage of selecting study skills as the main theme include.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Sylvie Hendriani. Will continue on the areas of ESP stage. In the second, English for Provisional Purposes, or EPP, which consists of two parts. First, English for General Provisional Purposes, or EGPP. As an example, English for the healthcare sector. The language of healthcare can be complex. On this course, you will develop your English language skills and learn vocabulary for a career and study in healthcare. You will learn healthcare terminology and how to communicate in different professional situations. You will practice your listening skills with recordings of healthcare professionals and test your knowledge by writing the answer to discussed questions. Upon completion of this course, you will feel more confident using healthcare language and you will have explored what it's like to use these language skills in healthcare setting. Okay, in the second, English for specific professional purposes, or ESPP. As an example, English for nursing. Patients come in all different shapes and sizes. They all also speak many different languages. Whether you are working abroad or at home, there will come a time when you will need to rely on English to communicate. This speech can help nurses, doctors, paramedics, receptionists, and others. They will help you learn some basic English expressions and vocabulary related to the medical field. By studying and practicing medical English, you will be able to make your patients feel more comfortable and have a better understanding of their needs. You will also learn how to talk to their loved ones and communicate with other medical staff who speak English. Do the exercise and take the quiz to test your knowledge and understanding. Next, in the third, English for occupational purposes, which consists of two parts. English for general occupational purposes, or EGOP. For example, English for a hospitality industry. And second,
English for Specific Occupational Purposes or ESOP. For example, English for hotel receptionists. Okay, why learning English for a hotel in the industry is a great idea and how to start? Okay, hotels are a whole different world. They're a place where tourists, families, and business people can rest at the end of a long day. They also offer fantastic job opportunities, but working in a hotel usually requires one specific skill, spoken English, of course. Hotel visitors may not always know the local language where they are. They will probably know English, true? English is a language spoken all over the world. If people from France or Italy or anywhere else visit your hotel, you may not be able to speak with them in their language, but there's a good chance they will understand enough English to communicate. Still, the English spoken by hotel staff is not regular, everyday English. It's much more polite and formal, and there are certain vocabulary that gets repeated a lot. In this post, we will talk about the difference between hotel English and everyday English. Okay, okay, guys, this is enough for my presentation. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
For most ESP teacher, formal training of great concern with learning English in general. Some people may be argue that there is a little difference between teaching ELT and ESP. ELT and ESP has the same goal of developing communicative competence. Alice described language pedagogy as caring about the ability to use language in communicative situations. Workplace situation or academics can be said to be only a few of the situation part of the world. Many ELT courses are based on the principal language. Course content must be related to the goals that students are expected to use the language for. However, there are important differences between general ELT and ESP teaching. Cook distinguish between external and internal goals for language teaching. External goals can be linked to the used language outside the classroom, can get things done in the real world, like being able to buy groceries or provide medical information. Internal goals are related to the goals of education in the classroom, improve attitudes speakers of other language, promote skills, things like analysis, memorization, and social goals. General ESP teaching understood to be closely related to external goals. At ESP, students are seen as language learners who have involved either academically, professionally, or pursued jobs and who use English as means to carry out the case. External objectives provide an instrumental view of language learning, and language is studied from non-linguistic purpose.
Well, the next and the last explanation is from me. My name is Cynthia Dwitami, and I would like to explain about the effectiveness of English for specific purposes. Basically, many researchers was discussed about the effectiveness of English for specific purposes. For example, Helen Bachortman in 2010 affirmed that English for specific purposes teaching makes additional demands on teachers and course developers in terms of investigating needs and designing courses that might only run for a relatively short time and ask whether teaching ESP is effective. By the way, empirical investigation into the effectiveness of English for specific purposes teaching has been limited, according to Jones and Dudley Evans in 1991. This has also been the case in English for additional purposes, by the way. It is easy to understand why this is so. There are few situations in which an experimental study comparing a group of learners provided with an ESP-oriented course and one with similar learners provided with a general English course would be possible. There are few empirical studies investigating the effectiveness of ESP in workplace training, due in large part to issues of confidentiality in corporate culture and also time and cost constraint in ESP management. So that's all about the effectiveness of English for specific purposes. There are also many journals about it. If we want to know more about the effectiveness of English for specific purposes, we can see it in many journals. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay everyone, that is our presentation from Group B for today. Thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.